So the guys came with me, obviously, for when we played Tulminator now last year.
Yeah.
Crazy to say. Was all of your first times in Europe?
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, that was amazing, man.
Yeah.
Serious shit. It was like a dream come true, man. Serious shit. Like
It
for
was
all of
crazy.
us, like for one, go to Europe, but then play on a big metal festival like that, and not just that the promoters were amazing. Those guys are fucking awesome. It just was an amazing experience. All the bands we got to play with, man, it was fucking awesome. Fucking shit, dude.
Yeah, we had a fucking private driver. We got out the airport in where was it?
No, Rome.
No, it wasn't Venice.
Yeah, it wasn't Venice.
And there's an old guy holding a sign said it was spelled wrong, but it said like Dark Insanity, kinda. And he drove us super fast. You remember how fast he was driving to get us to the festival?
It was pretty. I mean, he did it good. I mean, he did it. We didn't die, but did you die?
But
did we die? We couldn't.
What'd you guys like about the festival aside from playing it? Like going at because it was your first out of the country metal festival, right?
Yeah, I mean the atmosphere was just fucking amazing, dude. I mean,
yeah, everybody was relatively pretty friendly.
Yeah,
they're
it seemed like everyone knew like multiple languages.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like I needed to brush up on my shit, dude. Like, god damn,
you know more than me.
Yeah, I'm just saying, dude. Like, dude, those guys were like knew like multiple.
Everyone's really nice, and just the way of life. Like it's very chill out there.
Yeah,
everyone was very
in a lot of places, people, but I mean, it's different. It's I mean, what I always tell everyone, kind of one of the first things when they ask me about the trip is it's kind of so clean everywhere.
Yeah, that's very true.
The upkeep and then like the maintenance.
Says that's people being in Long Beach and LA like so. There's no garbage and tents everywhere. It's crazy.
No potholes.
There's a forest.
Hey, that's a true thing. We noticed not many homeless people.
You noticed no fat people for a while. It was kind of bothering you for a minute.
It's true.
That was like the biggest one there.
Yeah, dude, that's the serious shit. I was like,
I was telling you because their food isn't made of poison and like sugar. They actually eat real ingredients. No, yeah, it was a fucking awesome time. I've been before, obviously, as like a fan, but going to play was a whole nother fucking experience.
Right,
that was insane.
Exactly.
Miss Girl asked, most important question: how was the pizza in Italy?
Straight.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yes.
We had pizza at midnight in Rome on the beach.
Yeah. Why got chewed out?
I got chewed the fuck out by some Italian guy. He has a like chip on his shoulder over America.
He called it pepperoni pizza. He's like, pepperoni pizza. It's not a. It's a vegetable.
He's like, we call it salami. It's salami. It's not pepperoni. It's why do you call it salami? And I'm like, okay. He's like, so what do you want? And I'm like, I want the salami.
I'm hungry.
It's midnight. We just got off a plane.
It was like a 10-15 minute conversation.
It was.
I swear to
we
God.
were pretty hungry, but I mean, just if that would have took to get some food,
I was like, why? I'm fucked up, bro.
We all ordered like the same shit.
They were trying to make it simple too, and I was like, that was pretty bomb though, not gonna lie. Tell us the process for writing songs for Dark Insanity. They do everything and I show up at the last minute.
Basically.
Yeah, he stands around.
Oh, fuck off.
He goes in a circle.
That does happen.
It's like a circle.
It's like a circle.
Well, as far as writing process, sometimes Daniel, has a riff that pops up and then we kind of work off that. Or same deal, I have something that I've been kind of reciting and I show the guys and we build off that.
Improvising sometimes, I'll tell Alex, hey, fucking just play a beat to this, and I'll start playing a riff that I randomly was just jamming on, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And that's kind of how we do it, or sometimes we have met up, me and Tian just do bass and guitar and just try to have something before practice. But at times, we do it like on the spot when we are at practice, just improvising and just testing things out, trying different beats on it.
Yeah, and then if something tends to genuinely sound cool, we would record it just so we have something that we could always come back to it.
Right.
And
yeah, but then like going in next practice, listening to the recording, and then I mean really after that it's just structuring, which is kind of like one of the coolest parts about making music or like a song in general. Just kind of like what you want, but you're just like figuring it out, and like if something fits, it fits. If something doesn't, and that's a stage where you really lock in.
Right.
Almost immediately, like when we even had our first songs, someone would start riffing on something random, and we would like be on the same wavelength almost immediately.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I mean, that's how you know it's working too, though. It's just you can feel it. If it.
Yeah.
Also, listening back to it a lot helps because you'll find these little things where maybe there's a certain transition, point that you need to change. So either use the ride more on this or switch it to the high hi-hat. It just all depends, but really just making sure before you finalize it, you know, you're listening back.
When we first started, a lot of times they'd come up with like a riff or early part of a song and they'd ask my opinion on it or if I had any lyrics right away. And for me, I really need to at least have the skeleton of the song first before I can start visualizing what it makes me think of and some type of lyric structure to it. So it doesn't have to be like completely finished, but at least enough to kind of get the sense, like we were saying, where you find the riff. And then I will sit down. I already have an idea of what I want the song to be about, and I'll write along with like a melody to how the music's already going. But usually I'll go through it once and then I'll stop and be like, all right, how can I make the lyrics a little more challenging? Make it so it's not just following the same beat as the song, but like adding own melodies and twisting it a bit. So that's my personal take.
Yeah.
Actually, I lied. I just show up on stage and yell random shit.
That sounds more like it. Fuck everything you just said before that. Nah, you do that, man. You do a good job of, once you have the song structure, like once we kind of do, and you can listen to it, you are really good about formatting your lyrics to fit it nice. And also you fluctuate your vocals. So you go from low to highs and you kind of do it at really good spots where it does, you know, it fits perfectly too. So
Thanks.
Yeah.
Quit jerking me off while we're on it.
well,
Are we going to get any new music from Dark Insanity this year?
hopefully. I mean, we're definitely riding away. I mean, completed a new one. You know, we're gonna be playing it at our upcoming show.
Yeah, the 25th will be debuting a new song called Fancy Pirates.
Yeah.
That's not what it's actually called, but
Yeah, it's not solidified yet.
we might change it up before that.
But what's it called? Yeah, no, definitely. Hopefully, you can record an album before the end of the year, but we'll see.
I would like to.
We'll
We
try.
definitely have enough material. People have asked before if we do an album, will it have the songs from the EP or will it be all new shit?
I would think mostly new shit, 100%. We'll see. Maybe what we decide to do at the time. How many songs we have, I guess, at the time when we feel like we're ready to record. You know.
This is why we fire him almost every single time because he's holding the band. No, I'm kidding. We talk hella shit to each. I always fire him for anything. I'm on singer time all the time.
Oh, yeah. Dude's always fucking late.
I walked in today and they were fucking judging me like it was an intervention. I was about to leave.
I mean, if that's how you.
I was eating a sandwich.
That's what I was gonna say.
And I walked in the door and you're all just.
You almost made him drop his croissant.
We might play the rainbow, right?
Oh yeah.
No, we are April 11th.
Oh yeah. April 11th, Friday. If it's still standing, we'll play the rainbow.
Yeah.
It is the
They had a show.
This is the first time we're saying that.
I mentioned on it here
No,
before. but
it's
when our show coming up, the Doll Hut, I found out about that it was because I knew we were playing with Anubis, but that was it. And I was on here, and people were like, "Dude, I saw you're playing with the Doll Hut," and I was like, "What? When?" And because that's when the flyer came out, I was like, "Oh, yeah, we're playing with the Doll Hut with all these fans." Tell me, what bands were your biggest inspiration to start making music?
Definitely Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. Just those driving bass lines. Like for any young bassist, kind of, makes you get your hands moving for sure.
Tien is an insane bassist. That's why he's in pretty much every band that has him.
Yeah.
He stands perfect. Well, at least at practice, he does headbang at shows and stuff. But at practice, he stands perfectly still, and he's just doing the craziest like bass riffs ever.
yeah. We're always accused of him putting steroids in his hand.
Yeah, I was remember the one time that we were playing some song, and I handed the bong to you, and you took it and hit it, and then I kept like numbing your bass as it was going, and kept the song going, and then you just caught right back to where they were.
It's honest work, really.
For me, bands that always inspired me to want to put a band together were actually a lot of melodic death metal bands. The Swedish scene has always been big for me. So like earlier Arch Enemy, Hypocrisy is a huge influence for me. It's hard because like every band I like is an influence in some type of way, you know?
I agree. Yeah.
So, like,
100%.
I get inspired by Napalm Death and Lamb of God and everything too.
And then AC/DC.
Yeah.
I feel like that, Guns N' Roses. I feel like there's other bands in there too that are not metal that I think,
Oh yeah.
that I think influenced me big time. I mean, I guess because I started playing guitar at 10.
Yeah.
So I kind of have like that. At least that's where I kind of started out when I was like getting into it, was like Guns N' Roses, Van Halen.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Eddie Van Halen for me when I started was like a big influence. But metal wise, David Parland from Necrophobic / Dark Funeral.
Oh yeah.
He for me is a big influence as far as my style goes. Is
Honestly, I think for me, it was everything that I really grew up with, and a lot of stuff that was just on the radio, like back in the day. Like a lot of bands are trying out new things, but I honestly didn't listen to like a lot of metal until I joined the band. Until he introduced me to band, other bandmates introduced me. Like I got introduced to Death, well, like early in Sumerian days. So yeah, ever since then, you like from there you branch out and then you
Right.
just find
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
on your
Right,
own. Like
right,
that's
right,
like
right.
kind of the best things. Like,
Yeah.
right, exactly.
like you find your own interest like in live, like that.
Yeah. Dax asks, where did you think of your name? So, Dark Insanity is the name of an older Arch Enemy song. It's a song that always was one of my favorites because of the lyrics dealt with kind of struggle with mental health and depression and psychosis. I used to experience some mental health issues back in the day that are thankfully much better now. I always felt like that song I related to a lot. So, when it came to putting the band together, we were trying to think of names. It was one I had in mind, but I don't think it was the first one that I recommend. I think we were trying to come up with stuff, and then I was like, I've had this one in mind. What do you think of
right.
that? But not only that, like it fits for our sound too, for the kind of Black and Death mixture of it goes, you know, we can go kind of slow headbang and then fucking insane.
Right. It's
Black metal.
It's definitely grown on us for sure.
Yeah, and I try to frame all the lyrics around that type of subject, the darker end of like mental health, and not only that, but just the world. Even.
Right.
We were saying earlier that our sound and artwork can look really like, you know, Cannibal Corpse, gore type of stuff, which is great, but our lyrics are more kind of on the deeper mental, kind of at the gates type of stuff. At least that's what I am inspired by when I write. For each one of you, who are your musical heroes? One each. Pick one person who's like this person. Maybe want to be a musician. For me, it's Lemmy.
That's a good one. Just based off of when I started playing guitar, like Eddie Van Halen, just because I was younger and he was just my influence at the time.
I guess I would say maybe David Gilmour for sure for me. Just kind of like listening to the music ever since I'm young, like real at a young age, just always, you know, playing in the car and shit or the house, and like just wanting to play like a solo like in front of the whole school, like Pink Floyd song. I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah, I would have to say Steve Harris.
Jason again asks, which live band was a huge disappointment for each one of you?
Mayhem.
Mayhem?
Dude, when we saw Mayhem with Cannibal,
I was falling asleep.
it was kind of boring, dude.
I was like,
Did that just happen? Or when?
This
I was like standing and then I'd be
Diego,
like
a
stumbling
year or
forward.
two. Like 2 years ago, maybe. Whenever that Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
It was Cannibal, Mayhem, and Gorga. Gorga's destroyed, bro.
Uh-huh.
Amazing set. Mayhem just I don't know, man. It just wasn't. I want to see him again just to see if I was tripping, but we all kind of agreed it was kind of like whatever.
Didn't you say that the new vocalist for Death Angel didn't sound good? Or there was somebody that just sounded awful. Dark Angel, maybe?
Oh, the first time I seen them at CDF in Oakland, when there was at the Oakland Metro Opera House, Dark Angel was one of the headliners.
Mhm.
I just wasn't. I don't know if it was just the way it was coming out on the PA, but I wasn't too fond of it at the time. I've seen him since, and that definitely he sounded way better this time. But
Okay.
whatever happened that day was definitely not that great. I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
One that comes to mind, it was a small, like, newer band. Honestly, don't want to mention them because I felt bad, but they played at Supply and Demand, which is like down the street from me. It's a small place that we've played before. We might be playing again. And they were a tech death band, and I was excited to check them out. They had a slow, ominous intro that was like a minute and a half or something. And then they start playing, and very shortly into the song, the drummer stops, and it's just like, I can't hear, like, my monitors aren't working. And they took a couple of minutes to try to fix it, and one of the members being like, sorry guys, give us a second. It took a while, and then when they got it up and running, they restarted the intro so the first time they're standing on stage, like, and then they fix it, and then they do it again, and then they play the same song, and then I think they stopped again, like toward the end of the song, or they got through the song, but then again they were like fucking with their shit. It was a while till they played one more song, and then they were like, oh, we can't do it, we're sorry, our monitors aren't working well. And they just gave up on the show. Yeah.
Why do they have to have that?
I guess so. And I saw that and I was like, I don't ever want that to happen. We haven't used
like,
those.
it'd be cool to have it, but like if that's what you're relying on to play.
Yeah.
It's
If it's like, oh, we can't do our show at this bar
yeah.
because we don't have
Yeah,
a trip.
that's pretty insane. Yeah.
yeah, like I felt bad. I don't want to even mention the band. It's a very.
No, dude.
I'd be surprised if most people
The
knew
only
about it.
other
but-
time I've really seen a really bad something like that was when I seen a band get booed off stage at a DRI show. Actually, when it was like an all-day like punk metal event, and this band it just did not fit the bill, dude. And
Mm.
it was the only time I've ever seen a band get booed, dude. Usually metalheads are pretty supportive.
Yeah.
This, it was not it, bro.
For more from me, check out my band Dark Insanity. You can find us on Instagram, on Spotify, on all of the streaming platforms, on Bandcamp as well. We have our EP Rabid Psychosis out now. We've got merch available for the channel and for the band. Now you can get White's Metal t-shirts, Savior of Metal hats, Dark Insanity t-shirts, Dark Insanity weed bags. We've got everything. Links for all of my stuff can be found in the description of this video. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.